Hey everybody, Texas Stroker here, Alliance's Performance Shop, Mopars.com. It's here Tuesday night, a little after 10, dropped down to 75, right after Labor Day. I just recorded what I think might be my very first short on YouTube. Crazy, I know. No toolbox tours, no shorts. What am I doing out here? Just, not even trying to lynch the system or anything. But we're going to have what's, by my standards, I think a kind of quick tool haul here. But it's in part because there's a couple of really neat items I want to spend some standalone time on. So we'll have probably 3 or so out of this. But we're going to get started right here. This is a DRPD haul. And if I work my magic correctly, I think we need it oriented like so. Oh, we are batting 1,000 tonight. Look at that. So, DRPD, and this is going to focus on PB Swiss. We're rocking the Plum DRPD here. And what we've got going on, we're going to get started kind of with your... Is this the cheapest item? It should be. It's actually... Yeah. There were some cheaper items. I'm going to tie those in with something else. But this is almost the cheapest item. This is from PB Swiss. It is their part number. I guess I should probably read that off to you. Again, timestamps, links, if you're new here, I do all that. Don't make a dime. DRPD doesn't send me cash for any affiliate links or anything like that. It's solely there for your convenience. It would be nice for that to change because I'm a guy that really wants a twin-turbo Viper, but alas, it is what it is. So, PB 6100.M yellow. PB Swiss Multicraft yellow. Some of you knew this, right? Magnet. You think, yellow, why? Geez, let me get that green out of the picture there for you. And now let me put the green back in the picture, if I can, and zoom in on the palm so you can have an unbiased view, hopefully, of the yellow. It is sort of an acetate yellow, is how I would describe it. Not necessarily like the translucent acetate, but if you can imagine the textured acetate or how your acetate might look after certain chemicals come in contact with it. Not really a bad color, that does not do it justice, but right there you get a really good look at her. And the reason that was important is for no other reason than this. Okay, you got black and purple. You got blue and green. These are the two that are always off to the side that I tap, and they make that spring noise. And you got red. We got ketchup and mustard here. Let's see if we can work our magic. Boom, we sure can. What is this? Why is this special? This is all 6. I'll never get these to line up for the OCD people. I do apologize. Ooh, yeah. Fun with magnets. We could do this a while. That's all 6. Those are your color options, all right? Blue and green, I don't know how many of those I have. I have them all over the place. I'm not going to lie, I would take an orange. The red kind of works that way. You mix the red and the yellow, we would get a pretty nice shade of translucent orange, I think. But yeah, if you want red, well, there you go. I think this is my only red, interestingly enough. Looks really good with a black backdrop. It's a little bit more translucent, but with a dark color behind it, really, really vibrant. You're getting bonus coverage here. There's the yellow. If we come in, the blue and the green are phenomenal. Absolutely love them. Again, tons of the blue. This is a really good shade of green if you're like a green person, like my nephew. This is right up his alley. And then the black and the purple. Black, nothing wrong with it. It's just going to be the most likely for me to lose. And that's why kind of the blue and the green pop. The yellow is actually probably the least likely for you to lose. Unless, of course, you're working on cat stuff. So yeah, again, the purple, a little bit more translucent. You can get that black behind it. It looks really good. So the interesting thing, and what may help you, I'll try to remember to link it. They actually sell a 6-pack that includes, you guessed it, all 6 colors. So if you don't want to like piecemeal this together, you can just cash in, get the whole set. That's probably the most likely thing to be sold out. These magnets, the reason we didn't ever bring them in all at once is like they sell out. They go pretty quick. But they're fantastic little tools to have. Coming in next, again, we don't have a ton going on here, but I think it'll pay off because I'm probably going to show you something cool at the end. Right here, somewhere. What have I done with these items? Here they are. Okay. You got kind of the same thing in a different flavor, if you will. All right. This is going to be PB Swiss part number PB8215.A. This is going to be their interchangeable blade screwdriver handle. And I hope you're sitting down. You ready for the price on this? You're thinking, ooh, PB Swiss, probably like, what, 25, 30 bucks? Try $6.50. $6.50. That is correct. You heard me right. That's what that costs. So what is this? Well, if you look at the eye there, it's not really an eye, although you could pass it off for one on Halloween if you wanted to. It would be a nice little joystick, maybe a nitrous controller if you get an LED button through there. Lots of options for customization, but in the real world application, if you look down that barrel, it's going to take a slotted bit, right? And what do I mean by that? I mean a shaft, a blade, something along those lines. And as I frantically look for those, here they are. We're going to come in. You know what I had to do first, right? We just could not pass it up. We came in. We've got PB Swiss part number, PB215.ph2. Does that tip it off? It should, because it pretty much tells you what you need to know. And, this almost costs as much as the handle. It's a nickel cheaper. $6.50 for this. $6.45 for this. Now, there is a very important reason that I brought this in. Number one, it's number 2 Phillips, so it'll see a lot of use. Number two, we needed to plug this sucker in, right? This combined cost of $6.50 and $6.45, 6 plus 6 is $12.50 and $45.95, $12.95. I don't believe you can source a PB Swiss driver for less money, right? Particularly, say, a number 2 Phillips will come in with an orange one here. Obviously, you're going to give up, like the size identification, things along those lines. Now, you're also doing something else. You've got the same form factor, if you're a fan of the rainbow grip and familiar with this size. But look what we've done. We've got an extended shaft. Nothing major, but it is notable, and it has to be denoted again right here. Cannot go any farther in there. But if you look at this shaft, running my thumb nice all the way around from the tip to the body of the driver. If we try to do that here, oh, what's this? There's an impediment. And what is that impediment? It is some of the most fantastic knurling that you will ever see on a screwdriver. Absolutely love this stuff. Apologies, this is a combination of aniseeds and Loctite and right stuff underneath my thumbnail there. But this is phenomenal knurling. The best example is going to come back from when we flash back to this tool, which is of course a center punch here, and that is a really good chunk of it if you want to experience it standalone, and maybe you want to upgrade, try one of their center punches. I do use that one. It's been pretty nice. But you get a slightly longer driver and you get knurling. I will tell you right now, there is just a faint, I mean, we're talking like fractions of a few degrees here, maybe 2-3 degrees play. In terms of once you bear down, there is no play at all. Once you've taken that initial slop of the adjustable blade and the handle, you're set. So, real quick, just while we've got this orange one out, I want to come in and you should know what this is going to be right at the 4-inch mark. So that's your standard, in my case 4-inch, and maybe your case or preferred unit of measurements, 100 millimeters. Coming in right here, what do we have? We're kind of sitting funky, 4 3/4 I would call it. So not quite 5, not 4, so you get that extra 3/4 of an inch. Very nice addition in my opinion. Now, if I set that back down, we could come over here and I could grab this one. I mean, it's, kind of the red comparison here. So there you are, end to end. Again, you kind of get this sense here, 3/4 of an inch. It's might be nice if that was like a 125, a 5-inch type of a setup, but hey, not gonna argue. The next thing I did is purchase this. And if you're thinking, oh, must be more blades for that sucker, yeah, you're 100% correct there. This is going to be their part number, PB215.V 1/4. Now that might give things away. 215 series, you're kind of catching into this, right? And you think quarter, oh, you got a slot. So just the generic, your default setup. Okay, we get it. You always do this, a number 2 Phillips. And then like, the quarter, 5/16, 3/6, whatever, standard slotted driver. Okay. Well, let me grab this and pull that out. Set it back down. And then I'm going to take this. We're going to take the handle. We're going to locate it, snap it in place, and here we are. Now you're thinking like, hey, that kind of looks shorter, and it totally is, and there's a reason for that. This is not a slotted driver. Oh, no, no. This is going to be what I've effectively created is a PB Swiss spinner handle. Okay. Now, in a perfect world, I could like swap this out and then have a bushed 3/8 end. That would be like 2 tools in one, and I would love it. Especially if we could get like, if you gave me the color options there, you know, blue and green would be coming home. I might do a purple just for the heck of it. Kind of, you know, have it isolated, segregated by color, so I kind of know what goes where. But let me show you the beauty of this system. We come in over here, and we grab a Stahlwille socket. PB Swiss doesn't have sockets that I'm aware of. We have just created kind of a budget nut driver set, right? If you've got quarter drive sockets, and you've got this, all of a sudden, you've got a nut driver set. Keep in mind, you know, no, not hollow shaft, but, you know, for just starting, spinning, tightening, whatever it might be, breaking free, this is what you're set up with. So really cool stuff there. Again, these blades, you can kind of pick your poison. You can pick what you want. This was, I didn't want to like jump in and invest heavily, although they do have some very nice kits if you're into that sort of a thing. I kind of like to proceed with caution, make sure I like it. Turns out I do like it. And this is something else I did because I thought it would be pretty dadgum cool. So we're going to rip this off, and I'm going to put this back in here. And again, that's just kind of our standard handle there. And if I come in and I give you this part number, PB, let's see, let me go back up a little bit, 8215.A, something, 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 $7.60, costs $1.10 more than this guy. And you think, okay, well, what is it? You know, what's that something, something, something? What if I swing this color in front of you? You think, yellow? Is that ESD? It absolutely is. So if you're working with sensitive electronics and you need to prevent static discharge, that's what this is going to be. And it pairs quite nicely with our yellow magnet, doesn't it? But again, right there, exact same part number until you get to the hyphen and you've got the ESD to denote the difference. Literally the exact same form factor, exact same size, everything. If you like this or that, you're home free the other way. This is just ESD. So that means, you know, and I don't know, you might want to be a little bit more cautious than this, but effectively, if you're working, this is a bad example, that's a very large socket to be on a circuit board of some sort, but you get where I'm going. We can come in, and with that setup and these two handles, you've kind of got like the best of both worlds, right? It's a very interesting combination. Now, there is something else that we can do with these, depending on if I release that short and when I release that short. You'll kind of follow along with this. But I've got to bring this into the mix. A little quarter drive bit ratchet, right? This is from Stahlwille. A really nice little bit ratchet. The problem for me, now granted, in certain applications, you need as slim of a head, as short of a handle, as dainty as you can get because it's required, right? I've had a situation recently on a gland nut on a forklift where you need absolutely minimization of every aspect, including the bit. The rest of the time, though, this is tiny, like painfully tiny, right? You know, maybe some of you know it's not a big deal, but if you've got like my size hands and bigger, like, ugh, you know, you don't want to handle this very long. So as you do so, it's like arthritic inducing, you know, and it's nothing against Stahlwille or PB Swiss, any brand that does it. You heard me complain about Koken. Yes, I get it. Quarter drive bit ratchets, you know, you don't want to over torque, you want it small. I can apply a little common sense. I think some of you might be able to do the same thing. So your next step up is what? It's to get the comfort grip. This is a quarter drive Stahlwille ratchet. This came from an advent calendar, actually. This set is what has done a ton of the interior work in the Ram Revival. It's weird that it's not in the truck right now. I'm just going to say that. But really, really nice, and it does give you a little bit better of a handle, especially to kind of avoid some of those cramped fatigue situations. But it's basically the same form factor. So how could we take this? We've improved this a little, but you know what would be nicer? A little bit more meat and, I don't know, like extend the length 3/5, 60 to double, essentially. Well, we can do that, and we can do that with PB Swiss. And you're thinking like, whoa, PB Swiss Ratchet, what? I had no idea. This is going to be fantastic. You sly little dog, you acted like there wasn't much to this tool haul. Well, bear with me, because this cost $5.05. And I hear you. You're saying like, $5.05, that's impossible. That's less than these. You're not going to be a Swiss-made bit ratchet or quarter drive ratchet for $5, you idiot. What are you wasting our time for here? Is this some like 7th color of a magnet or something? It's just some cruel trick. No. PB 5215A, $5.05, and it is right here. And you think like, what is that? What's the? Oh wait, there's weird symbols on there. I see. Seems like I have a buddy that uses that for a discount or something. You're thinking. Yeah, this is going to be VDE. So what is this? It's not ESD, electrostatic discharge. This is going to be like an insulated iteration, right? And so you're thinking, oh, they make insulated versions of those blades. They absolutely do. But I don't care about that. What I care about is this. And you think like, oh, you ruined it. That's not an insulated blade. That defeats the purpose. You're jeopardizing your safety, fool. Dun 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 dun. What is this? Well, it's PB Swisswille, that's what it is. This is a little Frankenstein hybrid ratchet thing we've created. I did put some seat time on this to make sure I wouldn't look like an idiot if somebody dared to couple these two together. I'm not going to tell you that you won't have some issues and rip it off, but I want to highlight this. You have created... This is essentially the exact same form factor. This is the intermediary. Bare-handled bit ratchet. This is the bare-handled quarter drive. That's the comfort grip quarter drive. This is the same ratchet from Stahlwille. And it's the bare handle. The difference is in the end, it's like, how dare you? How could you possibly? The VHA was one thing. You chipped away, ground at that, modified it, some Frankenstein contraption. But this was a Stahlwille. You, sir, are an animal. Absolute barbarian, unsubscribing, telling all my friends we're going to come find you and torch your entire shop. Hold up. What if I told you I haven't done anything? This sucker right here is mint. This is as cast from Stahlwille. Okay. Forged, we'll probably get corrected there. But we take the bit ratchet, we take this guy. Mint, right? This didn't bother anyone, didn't raise any red flags. Same thing here, right? This just has the comfort grip, but I mean, as you can see, quarter drive. So what's going on? Well, you mutilated, and I don't care if it was $5. That was PB Swiss, you barbarian. I'm back to square one with you. Gather the troops. We're going to go lynch this guy. Well, hold up. Check this out. PB Swiss tools. Doesn't really look modified, right? If you didn't pay attention to these drive-ins, the only difference is they have the slots. This one would kind of be a similar system, but plug in without the fluting on the shafts. And you're thinking like, well, that does look pretty clean. If he drilled that out or machined it, he did a really good job and has a nice like factory finish with this plastic sleeve he's put in there. I haven't done any of that. This is truly a plug and play. Okay. You can get to about right there effortlessly. You can shove it a little bit further if you want to. You don't want to go too much further. You'd swallow things up. But right here, this creates a really nice quarter ratchet. Now again, yes, you got a little bit more leverage here than you would have. You can snap off the heads of some tiny fasteners. I think everyone understands the dangers of having like an 18-inch quarter drive ratchet. But this is so much more comfortable to use. Okay, you could put any handle back here. You could put Pittsburgh, you could put Vera, VHA, anything. Stahlwille, But what I try to do, and the real reason these were brought in, it was twofold. I wanted to kind of explore the, variable blades and everything. But I also was thinking like, I might like this as a ratchet handle better than I do a screwdriver handle. And it was, price was right, and it's a deal where I don't have to come in and like buy this and then dissect the driver and feel bad, which I do a lot. It's like you take a perfectly good screwdriver or even an old broken one where you might not like the handle or it's not in good condition, but you just experiment. You play with these things off camera where no one knows what goes on in the laboratory. I turn on my insidious Taylor Swift music and start working magic over here. But this sucker, this is truly plug and play. Now, if you're thinking like, well, that's cool, but I would never do that with quarter drive. Well, hey, check this out. I can come in right over here, and I can grab a pretty cheap, reasonable ratchet. This is an Astro. It's significantly longer. Why? It's 3/8. This would be like a long form factor quarter, though what Astro claims is a 3/8 head and a quarter drive body. Obviously, you know, compared to a Stahlwille, this is a little thicker, but this would be like a pretty good length. This is kind of what I was wanting to do, is like kind of double this, right? If we spin that over from that end, you get the idea. It's close to double, okay? That's sort of what we've done with that iteration. Now, this, you would probably want to machine that down, whether that means something, you know, like professional, or whether that means you take it to a piece of sandpaper or a grinder or what have you. But check this out. I can seat that. Now this, you are going to run a good chance, if you're really bearing down, that slips off. You'll have to watch it. But I'm just showing you some things that are possible without doing anything on your end aside from investing $5 in this PB Swiss handle. Okay, really tight suction fit, as you can see there. But again, so you can kind of watch the magic happen. This is solid. That, you know, I would be, you know, a little leery of, but this, check it out. Do you see this? Like, this is a real long form quarter drive ratchet setup with a 3/8 head, granted, but look at that. That takes the little Stahlwille and it makes it this long. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I've complained a lot about small, tiny things that I don't like to hold for long periods of time, and this is a solution. I may not be done butchering things. We may have to butcher this to work with some other things, right? But this is truly plug and play. You could go to DRPD or PB Swiss, Count On Tools, wherever, and buy this handle. And you could go to KC Tool and you could buy this ratchet. And you can create this with no effort. Does it work with the Bit Ratchet? Of course it works with the Bit Ratchet. It's the same body. So, plug and play. You now have a PB Swiss Bit Ratchet. Killer stuff, is it not? I sure think it is. And like I said, it is pretty solid. Obviously, you can do you if you want to knurl this so it grips better than the plastic collar, if you want to add adhesive because you're never going to take it apart. Whatever you want to do, the sky is the limit. But it's really rare when I play around with this stuff that something just plugs and plays, especially between brands. Now, think any ratchet with a similar body to this is probably also going to plug and play. So for $5 to get yourself a PB's, which most people hold in very high regard, I will say it's quite comfortable, especially again kind of on something like a ratchet where you're kind of torquing type of an motion, you know, pushing and pulling, if you will, from the 90-degree position. So that turned out to be a pretty sweet little deal, at least in my opinion. So I'll try to remember to link this little guy right here from KC Tool. But you can create this. You can do that. You can make your own debauchery. You can bore this out. You can cut it, whatever you want to do. These are $5, okay? These are like 6 and 7s. So like, you could basically have all three of these handles to screw around with for under $20, okay? So you get the idea. Now it's gonna be, I really do like the concept of having this set up, the ESD one, but I also thought, man, that yellow looks really good online. I wonder what it's like in person. It looks great in person. The closest yellow I'm gonna have around here will be this little Vera for comparison. You should know what their yellow is kind of like. That's much more of like a fluorescent neon. And when I say that, I don't mean it's like an objectionable, like, oh, you know, I went to the trailer park and found this chick with a T-top Camaro objectionable yellow. But, you know, it's nice. In person, right here, right now. The camera, it's a little brighter. If I just look at this off to the side, this is like a straight-up canary yellow. It's kind of like a top banana. It looks really nice, in my opinion. You may have differing opinions, but it's a solid little color in my opinion. So I'm sure PB Swiss has that, Torx or Hex or Slotted or Spot, I don't know. And the rainbow Swiss grips, they kind of like P1, P2, P3, they're different colors. It's sort of like a Take It Easy tool finder from Vera. So if you have a yellow rainbow Swiss grip and whatever drive it may be, you have a good idea. That's probably exactly what you'd see here. They might tweak it for ESD. Don't hold me to that. But yeah, the knurling though on this is so good. My only thing, while this is great and it's going to work really well probably 80% of the time, I wouldn't have minded having some farther up. So a lot of times you're not going to have access to this segment, you know, right up here at the tip. You would be back here, but in certain situations, if you're just kind of back here holding that, you can do some damage with some knurling there. But their knurling is legit, I'm telling you right now. Proto Mac, PB Swiss, kind of the knurl gods. Koken as well on some things. They kind of break it up a little bit. It's not really well known, I don't think, but if you're a knurling fan, can't top those three very easily. So with that said, this is this haul. I assure you, if you were bored by this or didn't care for the colored magnets or like the almost perfectionary fitment of that handle with Stahlwille ratchets, I got something really cool coming up in the next two as well. They will both be from DRPD. That said, it is 10:30 exactly right now, so I'll probably jump inside, work out, shower, try to, I don't know, edit a couple of videos and then go to bed. So yeah, this right here liable to be the OG source of my first ever YouTube short. Crazy, right? This channel's been around since 2011. Granted, shorts were not a thing back then. But I also need to do one for Alpha. There's lots of, including discount code Lone Star, saves you 20%. Do I make anything off of that? I absolutely don't. There's also one, there's another promo where you can get some buy one, get one type of a deal. That's kind of what I want to make this short on. But yeah, the end goal is just kind of showcase cool stuff, let you know what I'm up to, and hopefully some of you cash in on it. Maybe you do this, maybe you come in, maybe you're a snap-on person, maybe you got old school Armstrong ratchets, and maybe this is a perfect fit there. Maybe you find you just kind of, you know, run a little sanding disc through there on your Dremel, and it opens it up to a whole new world of possibilities. If you venture down that route or modifying these, by all means come back to the comment section and let people know what you did, what you were working with, how it turned out. But yeah, that's a crazy little fitment there. Super, super happy with it. So, if you enjoyed the video, you know what to do. Leave a like, leave a comment, let me know your thoughts. Any of this stuff, your favorite color and magnet, you know, how dare you modify these things or even think of it. That's blasphemous, mixing two brands. Whatever you want to do, feel free. But tell you what, if you haven't subscribed, I encourage you to do so. If you do that, ring the bell, jump your charger across the creek, combine a PB Swiss VDE bit handle with a Stahlwille ratchet, hit the Dixie horn on your charger. YouTube just might notify you that we got new videos every Wednesday and Saturday, 9 a.m. Texas time. And if you want to see more of that short stuff, you know, maybe we can crank some out. I don't know. Like I always say, succinct is not my strong suit. And I think by this point in time, most of you realize that. And so everyone that hates it is away, and then we just kind of slowly expand the people that like the long videos. You know, believe it or not, there are people that prefer like 40 minutes versus, you know, 20. So I'm typically somewhere in the middle, but hey, it is what it is. And with that said, I think I'm going to can this one. So hope you enjoyed. Hope you have yourself a fantastic week. Most importantly, hope I catch you back here for more action from the shop. You never know what we're going to be up to. So I hope you'll continue to check out the videos and learn something, have a good time, and share your personal experience and expertise. With that said, we'll catch you next time.